Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. This video is going to be about the best attackers for Season 14 Battlegrounds. It is going to be for both Victory Track and Gladiator Circuit Week 1 and 2. Let's look at the meta first. So we have an attacker buff called Red Scars, which says every time an offensive dot champ applies a damaging effect with a duration, they gain 15% of vicious passive for 20 seconds, max stacks 5. This vicious also increases your damaging passives and burst effects. And in defender's buff, we have Polka Dot Power and Power Shield. So as you all know about the Polka Dot Power, that you'll only gain power when you have damage over time effects on the defender. But in some cases in Polka Dot Power, you can use your basic attacks in order to kill the defender. But we also have Power Shield here, which means our basic attacks aren't going to do anything. So there will be only two sources to deal damage. It's either your damage over time effects or it's your special attacks. For Gladiator Circuit Week 1 and 2, there is an additional node called Hurt Locker, which you all know that it is about the using special attacks twice in a row, which means if you're using SP1, then you cannot use SP1 again, you need to use SP2 or vice versa. You can play around it though, you can use the same special attack if you use heavy attack within 5 seconds after using your special attack. If you fail to do this, you will take 50% health as a direct damage. So for Victory Track and Gladiator Circuit, Week 1 and 2, you are going to use same deck. There is not much difference. So let's begin with the best attackers. Let's start with the science class first. So Morbius. Morbius is going to work amazing as he has damage over time and his SP2 has guaranteed crit. Plus, you also have Power Shield, so I believe one SP2 will finish the fight. Also mine is 200 as 6 star, so I can use him against bleed immune matchups as well. So if you have a 7 star one, you're good to go against champs who can bleed. Next is Scorpion. Scorpion has 3 damage over time in his kit. You can either use Shock, Rupture or Poison. So you will have constant power gain and that SP2 will deal a huge burst damage by the help of Power Shield. And he is going to be very helpful as always as an attacker. Then we have Spot. With Spot you have Ruptures as damage over time effects. So he will also be able to nuke down many opponents with one SP2 rotation. Then we have Immortal Abomination. Immortal Abomination is going to be amazing as well with his constant poisons on the opponent, and that Acid Wash will take care of the opponent and he will work fine as an attacker too. Then we have Cassie Lang. In order to use Cassie Lang, you need to gain Pimp Particles and apply a poison debuff on the opponent to start gaining power, and then just use your Power Stings and SP1 to pause the stings. Then we have Spider Ham. You can use Spider Ham although you won't be able to use SP1 to pause the stings debuff, but he is still usable. Human Torch. Human Torch will work fine as usual. It's either up to you if you want to use Nova Flame or not, because Nova Flame, I think it is not considered as damage over time effect. So if you use Nova Flames, so you might not be able to gain any power. If you want to use special attacks, then just use him without the pre-fight. Next is Void. With Void, I'm not sure if he will gain power or not. We'll check it out later, or you can let me know in the comments. What do you think about Void? He is in #.champ though, so I'm not sure if he will work or not, but anyway, just let me know or we'll find out soon. So that is it for the science class. Moving forward, let's see skill class, which are going to have many attackers this season. Starting with Massacre. Massacre is going to be an absolute beast in mostly all of the season. This time he will be more strong and that 1 SP2 in block will rip the opponent apart. Then we have Black Cat. Black Cat will work amazingly for chunky Rintras, Nick Fury and Hulklings. Her damage over time effect, her bleeds are going to tick for a lot, and she also has crit bleeds in her kit, so she will work fine. Then we have Jabari. Jabari is going to be awesome, plus if you will get a Fury buff while launching the Special 2, that will deal a lot of damage, and I'm really excited to use my 7-star. Then we have Hitmonkey, whose SP2 has guaranteed critical hits, so he's going to be awesome in this meta. Then we have Black Widow Deadly Origins. She has one of the highest damage over time in the whole game. She is going to shine in this meta with her shocks and that huge SP2 burst damage. Next we have Mole Man, who is going to be absolutely mind-blowing with his bleeds and granted critical hits on that SP2. That SP2 will be looking even crazier with the power shield. Then we have Blade, who is another awesome attacker with so many bleeds and his SP2. Black Panther will also be useful with his crazy stacks of bleeds on the opponent. At last, we have Valkyrie. You might be able to use Valkyrie by gaining power by hitting block only and use that huge SP2 for the kill. So if you have a high rank Valkyrie, you might use her, but she will be slower. That's it for the skill class. Let's look at the mutant class. So my number 1 pick from mutant class is Sunspot. His SP2 deals an insane amount of damage, and he has damage over time in his basic attack, so he will work great for sure. Then we have Omega Red with that degen constantly on the opponent, and also do not forget to equip him with Mr. Sinister Relic. I recently took him to SIG 200 and I'll rank 4 him in 1 or 2 days. So next we have is Archangel, who I think needs no explanation as he is always a beast in every meta. Going ahead, we have Iceman. If you have him duped, then you will have Call Snap on the opponent, which will help you generate power, so keep spamming SP1s and kill. Then we have Mcoc. Mcoc will work great with his damage over time, and with Power Shield, his specials will deal an insane amount of damage. He will definitely shine in this meta. At last, we have Weapon X. I just got him as a 6-star. I don't have resources currently to rank him up, but if you have him upgraded, then he will work amazingly well as an attacker in this meta, plus he's a nice defender too. Let's jump into Cosmic classes, where we begin with Gore. Gore has many dot effects, plus that SP3 will instantly kill anyone. Next we have his Venom with his bleeds, and I think use the SP2 rotation because that will deal a lot of damage instead of SP1. And he will work well in this meta. Then we have Hyperion, where you can use power gain in order to generate power and then keep spamming your SP1s to keep the opponent incinerated all the time, and that incinerate will tick for a lot. Then we have Hulkling. I'm not completely sure how it's going to work out, but as you can see here, I am gaining power by gaining unique buffs on Hulkling, so you can gain power like this and use your SP2 for the kill. That's it for the Cosmic class. Let's look at the Tech class now. Shuri is going to be an absolute MVP against Domino and other champs. Then we have Warlock, who will also be a menace on attack with his very heavy style and that huge SP2. Omega Sentinel. Omega Sentinel will work nice if you keep her damage over time on the opponent. She will be amazing Domino counter too if your Shuri is banned. Hulkbuster with his shocks and special attacks will work fine. Ultron will also work great as an attacker. That's it for the Tech class. Let's look at the final class, that is Mystic. My number 1 pick is Kushala, because she gives buffs to the opponent so that she can nullify them and then convert them to incinerate. She will be absolute MVP as a Mystic class attacker, or in general, as she can also block the unblockable attacks. and her attacks are energy based, so she can take care of Korgs and Nick Furies, and she's a great Maestro counter as well. Then we have Tigra. She also has damage over time in her kit. She has ruptures, and not many champs are immune to ruptures, so her SP2 will be able to nuke down a huge chunk from the opponents. Rintra will also work great with damage over time. He also has ruptures as his damage over time effect, and with his huge SP2 combined with power shield, I think one SP2 cycle will be enough to finish the fight. Diablo will be absolutely beast. I really want him as 7-star. He has a lot of utility. He can take a lot of fights, and his regen is really nice, so he will work great as an attacker too. Dr. Doom will do a fine job as an attacker. I'm not sure if you're able to use Doom cycle with him though, but he can definitely cycle around his SP2 and deal huge damage from that. Black Widow Clairvoyant also has damage over time effects, so you can use her as well. Plus, she can regen a lot if you use SP2 in the bleed phase. Dragon Man will work too with his power gains and SP2 incinerate damage, but I'm not sure if he'll be awesome as an attacker, but yeah, he can work in this meta. Another underrated attacker which will be great in this whole meta is Symbiote Supreme. He will constantly gain power, and after his SP3, when you use SP2, those bleeds and special attack damage will be really insane. I recently saw Bureau Man using his rank 4 against Maestros, and those fights were really sick, so he's definitely going to be an amazing attacker. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thank you a lot if you have watched this video till end. I hope I have covered everything in this video. If I forgot something, please let me know in the comment section. And have a great weekend guys. Bye bye.